Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everybody. It's time for a current events live stream. So basically, Ellen DeGeneres has lost her mind. She can't handle the negative news about her that she is getting because, well, she's kind of been outed as a very hateful and spiteful person. Now, also, the NFL has basically gone woke. I'm not much of a sports person, but I am going to cover it because it fits into the identity politics stuff that I am against. So I will be speaking out for it or against it. Also, just to let you guys know, my internet might go down in a minute or two. Depends on how long my landlady remains on the phone. Also, the cornerback, Andre Baker, for the New York Giants, has turned himself in. But the NFL, when they heard about the situation, declined to comment, but that's all they did. So we are going to get into it. We're going to start with the whole Ellen DeGeneres thing. Basically, Ellen DeGeneres, back when COVID-19 was really, really bad and we started locking down and everything, she decided to get a different crew than the people she's been working with for 20 freaking years and decide, fuck you guys, I'm going to have a new crew to help me with my home to get this set up so I can still do my show. She's not paying anybody that used to work for her. And so after all that, these same employees that worked for her, staffers and whatnot, they started coming out and exposing her, saying that you guys don't know the real Ellen. She might be all sunshine and cakes on the show on camera, but she's really mean. And it's not just her staffers, it's other folks that have come out on this whole thing. Like a bodyguard that was hired when she was at the 86th Academy Awards. You see, this bodyguard has worked with many people, and he basically said that Ellen DeGeneres wouldn't even talk to him. Most of his clients would at least say thank you after their job was over. And nothing from Ellen. Completely blank. Side-looking glances at him and whatnot. But it's like, you're not going to thank me for protecting you, your wife, your mother. And many other people have been coming out against her. And when Ellen started learning about these things, she thought, well, it's just a bunch of haters. Haters gonna hate, and it'll go away soon. But it didn't. Now, folks, you all know my channel if you're not new to it. How you doing, RR? And Black Samurai, hail to you as well. Surprise, surprise, a celebrity who isn't at all like the persona they publicly show. Yeah, true. It is very true that many celebrities do put on a facade. But you all know my channel. Let me get back to that. You all know that if you are on Twitter, you have seen the Orange Hat Reviews card that I just got from the Fandom Menace. And you all know that one of my things is stay humble. I say this because I have noticed others, not going to mention who, most people already know who have grown their channels and grown too fast for their own good, in my opinion. And they grew so fast, shot up in subscribers, that people like me, who was friends with them at one time and respected them because they were still humble and had regular conversations with, no longer is the case. Now, it's not me being jealous. It's not me being spiteful. It's simply me saying the facts. when you neglect the people who helped you get where you are, when you are no longer humble, your foundation will crumble. That is an unwitting rhyme. I did not intend that to rhyme, and my hair just keeps making me look weird. But anyway, folks, yeah, that's one of the things that I say. I do my best to engage with the chat when I am live. Black Samurai, RR, and Junebug when they finally get in here and whatnot. Happy Dinosaur, Kamen Rider, how you guys doing? We're just basically talking current events. Glad you guys got in early. So basically, as brief recap, Ellen DeGeneres has been outed by many of her staffers and a hired bodyguard at the time for the 86th Academy Awards as basically not a good person, not a nice person. She's mean. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly for legal purposes, folks. And basically, she heard about this. She basically dismissed it at first. Haters gonna hate. But then she thought it would go away. Well, it turns out it hasn't gone away. Ever since early April when all this shit hit the fan, it hasn't gone away. People are still talking about it. And now she's at the end of her rope because she's like, the hits just keep on coming. Now, it's unfair of how this all, well, slightly unfair of how all of this stuff, how you doing, Soul Assassin, came about, because the only reason why the media is reporting on this now is because they have reason to hate her, because she didn't go along with the leftist narrative. Yes, Ellen is a leftist, but she didn't go along with the extreme narrative. I don't get too political, folks, but I have to give you some context, which happens to be political. So I'm sorry. Basically, she was at a football game with George W. Bush. How you doing, Tubian? Soul Assassin, happy Dino. Good to see you all. And she's friends with the former president, George W. Bush. She was having a comfortable conversation and whatnot, and her supporters flipped their shit. George Bush is a Republican, or a right-wing person. She is a left-wing person. By the media narrative and the extreme left, she is not allowed to commingle and be friendly with them. They are to be hated and treated poorly on sight, basically, is their narrative. Now, she actually called these people out. We need to start being better to each other and start realizing that having a difference of opinion is an okay thing, and still remaining friends is an okay thing. And she's absolutely right. I agree with her on that. But, well, the media narrative and the extreme left narrative doesn't agree with her on that. They're like, you hung out with a right-winger, you're automatically canceled. So the media got wind of it, and they started making a fuss, and then people started, and that's when she first started getting called out. She could handle that. But when the whole lockdown thing from COVID happened, and she exposed herself as an unhumble bitch, well, her staffers, who were basically laid off without notice, because she hired new staffers to get her home set up for her Ellen DeGeneres show, so she could do audio chat and whatnot. She basically didn't allow any of the people who's been working with her for years to stay on and get paid. They had to fend for themselves. I'm sorry, but when you are a business owner, and Ellen is a business owner, you have to provide and make sure that your employees stay employed and stay nourished, so to speak. She didn't do that. And so now she's being called out as the meanie she is. Not just that, but there's other things too that has been unspecified. And so, yeah, Ellen DeGeneres is now at the end of her rope, by a close source who said this. she's like, she's at the end of her rope. She doesn't know why all these people are hating her and this and that. And it's like, well, maybe if you hadn't treated them badly, people who have been loyal to you for years, and all of a sudden you just say, well, your services are no longer required. Well, that sort of cold behavior has also been reported on by temporary employees, like that bodyguard who protected her, her wife, and her mom at the 86th Academy Awards. She was very cold. She didn't say thank you at all. She just gave sidelong glances, you know? It's ridiculous. Anyway, that is the Ellen stuff out of the way. We're now going to go into the Hollywood, or not Hollywood, the NFL. Where's my phone? There it is. The NFL, Ellen DeGeneres and Amber Turd are on real streak lately. Oh, funny you should say Amber Turd, real streak lately, Fenrir Fire. How you doing, by the way, man? I mean, we all know that Amber Heard shit her bed, or shit Johnny's bed just to spite him. But yeah, let me pull up a thing about the NFL. And when I heard this is abject racism, folks. The NFL is now critically confirmed to be racist. So, yeah. Oh, geez. Friend of mine. Anyway, let's get to my profile here on Facebook, because that's where I actually put the headline. Facebook media app or mobile app is just trash right now. They make getting to your profile very hard. All right. Now, so the NFL is considering improving draft picks for teams that hire minority candidates as head coaches or general managers. Sources confirmed to CSN, or ESPN, sorry, CSN. ESPN. So basically, if a team hires a person of color to be their, I haven't seen it, so, or Fenrir Fire, I'll have to check it out. I mean, I got the notification, but I kind of got busy. But I will check it out. Now, they're hiring people based off of skin color and not merit and skill. So, racist much? But you're also going to give them better draft options and picks if they hired somebody who is a person of color. Well, I'm sorry, folks, that is racism. That is showing favoritism to another person based on the color of their skin, or showing intolerance to another, or showing intolerance to somebody based on the color of their skin, which in this case is both true when it comes to people of color is the favoritism, whites are the intolerance. This crap has got to stop. I'm sorry, folks. I view all sorts of intolerance as abhorrent. And I don't watch the NFL anymore. I stopped watching back in 2016 when they started disrespecting the country and the flag and the people who sacrificed to make this country free, even though it's not technically free. But also, I think that the NFL should have fired everyone who knelt, because believe it or not, after a couple seasons of kneeling, well, people started to pay attention. People started to get sick of it. And how you doing, Lyndon? Good to see you. We're covering current events. Let me just take a swig. Now, let me just give you a brief context on the whole kneeling in the NFL. I'm pretty sure most of you already know. But what you didn't know is that one season there was a sizable decrease in the revenue of the NFL. They lost 8% of their net profit a couple seasons ago. And I'm sorry, that's actually a very sizable chunk. Now, this was due, they actually found, because people stopped watching because people or players were kneeling. Now, for further context, I've read the contract for players in the NFL. If you violate the contract, you can actually be terminated. Meaning, and one of the stipulations is if you do anything that, acting in public or no, that affects the revenue stream of the NFL as a whole, that can result in a termination of contract. You can be fired. When you go onto that field, when you go into that locker room before a game, you are clocked in. You are on the job. Your job has started. When you leave the field, when you leave the locker room, that's when you're clocked out. Now, here's the thing, folks. I don't know about anything about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp right now, that anything new. I've actually listened to Entertainment Hacker to see how or what he's got, because he covers that a lot better than I will. But yeah, I'll have to look into what you're talking about, Kamen Rider. I mean, unless you're talking about the abuse that everybody already knows about. But yes, basically, that's why I stopped watching the NFL, because they care more about the paycheck and more about stupid identity politics and real world politics, that they don't care about the game. They don't care about playing a game and having fun. It's no longer fun anymore. It's no longer fun to watch the NFL anymore for me. So I stopped. But now with this crap of the NFL going woke with this racist nonsense, nope, want nothing to do with it. But that's not the only thing that's going on in the NFL, you see. Last night I heard a report about the cornerback to the Giants. His name is Andre Baker. And, well, he had charges levied against him and warrants put out for his arrest due to alleged armed robbery. And the NFL was reported and confirmed to have known about this, and they declined all comment, and that's it. They didn't turn him in to the police. He turned himself in today. I heard that he had turned himself in. So good on him. Bad on the NFL. I'm sorry, but if you care more for profit and are going to protect your players, or when it's confirmed that they might be involved in armed robbery with a handgun or any firearm whatsoever, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm turning your ass in so that the whole situation can be resolved quicker. He's still proclaiming his innocence. And if he's innocent, awesome. If he's guilty, fine. But the thing is, I would still turn him in so that the whole situation can be resolved. I understand protecting your players. Believe me, folks, I do. I understand that they want to protect their players and this and that, and they're not going to get involved and this and that. But I'm sorry. If you know anything, and this guy is allegedly, or it's like, what you need to do is turn yourself in. They didn't tell him or advise him to turn himself in. He did it on his own. I just read through a bunch of articles about it. The NFL didn't tell him shit. He did it himself. He turned himself in. The NFL seems to care more about profit and making money than they do about the law and justice. I'm sorry, folks. I grew up in a family that is heavy with law enforcement, which makes what happened to me 3 years ago very weird and uncomfortable. Now, if you guys want to know about that, go search my channel for Time for a Serious Discussion. You will know exactly what I am talking about when I say what happened to me 3 years ago. And it's about an hour long, but you will get a peek into my past that I've had to deal with, and it's another reason why I do not like the Me Too movement. Believe me, folks, what I went through, nobody should. But anyway, back to the current events. The NFL basically, yeah, they care about profits more than they do about justice, and that irks the fuck out of me. I am caring more about justice than most deputies in that work for jails that I know. I mean, believe me, I get high stress work environment and all that shit. But still, there are some deputies in jails that would let people burn if there was a fire in the building. They would leave inmates in there. I mean, even if they're guilty or innocent until proven guilty is this thing, but they would actually let inmates burn. There is some seriously twisted shit going on in this country and in the world. And I am going to recap on another story that I reported on. Y'all probably saw it. It was the actors and actresses that penned their signatures to a report or to a letter in a French newspaper called Le Monde, where they're saying, or where they're demanding all foreign governments to subject themselves to radical changes of society, to get rid of consumerism, to get rid of productivity. And I'm surprised my video is still up. I'm surprised they haven't gone after me over the thumbnail, because basically I put the word motherfuckers on the thumbnail. I mean, I believe that video is still one of the higher, or was one of the more opened views, or more views and likes and whatnot. But yeah, them basically saying that they want everybody else to change. It's like, you first. If you're so interested in socialism, because that's what this is socialism is what they're calling for, well, commit to it. Show us that you are willing to commit to what you are saying. And by so doing, you know, all those Neutrogena commercials, those Aveeno commercials, those beauty product commercials that make them all look so sparkly, get rid of them. Not allowed to have it. Oh, by the way, you have over $10 million? You're not allowed to have that. Give it to me right now. All you celebrities, give me your fucking money. Because here's the thing, folks. If you really want to say that people need to be financially equal, well, you're going to have to give up your money to do it. You see, I've asked a couple of these idiots who, and yes, we are getting into a political part. I am sorry, folks, but this is relevant. You want to, or how many of you have all seen, you've all seen Dark Knight Rises, right? You're all rooting for Batman to win, right? Well, I've actually did this. I actually did this with a couple of my friends. It's like, so you believe in socialism, right? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we need Bernie Sanders to be president. And I'm like, you've seen Dark Knight Rises, right? Yeah, great movie. Did you root for Batman or for Bane? Batman, duh. And then I leave it silent for a second to see if they'll actually pick up the connection. They didn't. They were unable to pick up the connection. So, anyway, I'm like, okay, because you didn't pick it up, I'm going to have to basically tell you that, well, Bernie Sanders is kind of Bane. So, yeah, think about it. He wants to give it all to the people. Gotham is yours. Do whatever you will. That's my Bane impression, folks. And I got to say, that actually sounds spot on. Yeah, I know, I'm tooting my own horn. But I'm allowed to, damn it. And a couple of times, I'm still humble, folks. Believe me. Hey, I'm still humble. But I believe that you could toot your horn once or twice every now and then, as long as you still stay humble. But anyway, I brought this up to them. They're like, that's not what they're talking about. I'm like, are you sure? Really? Look at it from a political lens. There you go. But anyway, yeah, folks. All that stuff is now, or we're done with current events, and I'm now going to do the, it would be it would be painful for you. So now I'm going to do the Extraction review. I just got done watching Extraction on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth. They even had David Arbor in that movie. Holy shit, man. Only the elites have power in socialism. Exactly. Soul Assassin. Now, I like David Arbor as an actor. He's a great actor. I liked him in Stranger Things. I liked him in, believe it or not, I actually thought he was good in Hellboy. He was a different Hellboy, to be sure, but I liked that Hellboy. Yes, I will admit that movie sucked, but I liked him. I thought he was a good Hellboy. But he's also in a couple other movies that I've seen. He's going to be in the Black Widow movie. But yeah, I thought his character, as brief as he was in the movie, was pretty good. So this movie, Extraction, is basically about a mercenary who's basically, he's just lost the will to have a purpose in life because his son died of lymphoma, and he gets tasked to, or he takes a contract to rescue a kid in India who's a drug lord's son, and he was kidnapped by a rival drug lord, so he has to go into India, get the kid out and whatnot. The action is very good. The story is compelling. Objectively, the cinematography might not be that great. The lighting, definitely not as good in some areas. But for the most part, the writing and all the other stuff, objectively, is very decently and well done. It's just that the cinematography and the lighting and setting and stuff could have been done a little bit better. Now, objectively speaking, this movie, I would put it at a 4 out of 5. Subjectively, I will put it at a 5 out of 5. It's pretty good. Now, moviegoer, was I entertained? Where I'm not breaking it down, I'm actually just basing it on the entertainment factor alone. It's not, or I fell asleep once or twice. I mean, I had to struggle to stay awake, and I actually had to go back just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, moviegoer was, or I will put it at a solid 4 out of 5. Usually, if I give a subjective 5 out of 5, moviegoer is usually 5 out of 5. But because I kind of just got bored watching, I actually had to pause it. So, subjectively, I like the action movies. I like the shoot 'ems and whatnot. But as a moviegoer, if I have to pause to like get up, wake up, get some drink and whatnot, that's not good. So I take a point off for having to do that. And I had to do it twice because it's like, holy shit, I'm falling asleep during a movie that I'm supposed to be reviewing. So yeah, objectively, the movie is good. Story is compelling. And the action scenes are very good. When he smacks around those kids, when he realizes that they're kids, he's like, what the fuck? So he basically just goes non-lethal on them. But one of those kids basically got humiliated and ended up getting his shot in. Small spoiler. But yeah, the movie is actually pretty good for the most part. And the climax of the film is one that I thoroughly did enjoy watching. I was on the edge of my seat watching it. And honestly, that part I actually did enjoy. So subjectively, I will give it a 5 out of 5. Moviegoer is 4 out of 5 because I was starting to fall asleep in certain times where it kind of slowed down on the pacing. So yeah, the pacing doesn't really take it out of it or take out of the objective score too much. I mean, most of it is like point this, point that. But yeah, it all basically comes up to objectively 1 point is taken away. Now, I will say this, I do recommend Extraction. There's a chance that there might be a sequel. They truly did set up for a sequel. I drink way too much. I gotta piss all the time during movies. That's the thing, dude. Before I go to a movie theater or watch a movie, I make sure I use the bathroom before I go in. That way, I'm clear, and I only drink one drink, and that's it. If I have to, I drink or I have a drink just to make sure that my lips don't get dry or my mouth doesn't get dry, because sometimes I do have dry mouth. But yeah, Extraction, folks, I do recommend it. It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, I highly do recommend it. It's a very good movie. Chris Hemsworth, seeing him not as Thor is interesting. Seeing him as a badass, seeing him drop the F-bomb, I'm like, huh, interesting. I've seen him in a couple other movies. I've seen him in Men in Black International. God, that movie was awful. Yeah, good movie. He got wrecked at the end, though. I always get large drink, large popcorn. Yeah, you go all out at the theater. And that's, hey, man, all power to you. You're actually supporting the theater when you do the concessions. That's something that a lot of people don't realize. Theaters get most of their revenue from the concessions, not the ticket sales, because most of the time the ticket sales are a 90% take on the studio side. Yeah. And it's almost always 90% take when it comes to Disney movies, because Disney's greedy little fucks. You're an Autobot, and the people who did you wrong are the Decepticons. Ugh. You know what? That's actually a very good way of allegory in the scene where he fights those kids. And that's also a thing that actually got Chris Hemsworth in hot water. All the woke scolds want to kick him out of Hollywood because of what he did with the kid or against the kids. It's like, I'm sorry, but did you know that that's not the only place that they will employ kids to kill people? Believe it or not, India is a very dangerous country in some areas. Believe it or not, there are some areas that employ child soldiers, that violate the international conventions of warfare. I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole specifics, but folks, it is illegal to have children armed as your armies or as your personal military. And so, yeah, there's established rules throughout the world when it comes to warfare. If any kid is used as a militant or a military person, well, there's going to be heavy consequences for that shit. Anyway, I usually don't go longer than 30 minutes, but I did over this one because I wanted to cover a couple extra added things. But yeah, folks, that is going to wrap it up for current events. Thank you to Happy Dinosaur, Soul Assassin, Kamen Rider, Lyndon. Dude, you guys in the full Aussie, I wish I could have stayed through that whole thing, but I had to get some stuff done for my landlord. That was time sensitive. But definitely thank you, or you guys enjoyed it. I hope Raging Rhino gets a bit of that cut for his next whiskey bottle or for his next drink. But yeah, Tubian, Fenrir Fire, Kamen Rider, Soul Assassin, Lyndon, Happy. Who else did we get? RR, Tubian. I think I already said Tubian. Black Samurai 76. Thank you all for tuning in. Now, before I do go, I am going to give a plug out to or shout out to Lethal, Lyndon, and Raging Rhino. You guys are freaking awesome. The Full Aussie is definitely something that everybody should catch for a good laugh, for talking some good shit. And I mean, seriously, they have great shit on Lethal's channel every Saturday for people who are in the U.S. It's Sunday for those folks, or it's Saturday night. Yeah, it's Saturday night, basically, going into Sunday. But yeah, folks, definitely keep a lookout for Lethal's channel. Tonight, if you guys aren't doing anything, go to Mara Jade's channel, Jade Shadow. She's got her Nerdy into Lethal stream that she always does on Saturday nights. I believe it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock p.m. tonight. but it's actually already set up on her channel. So definitely go over to Jade Shadow's channel to set it up. Thank you for plugging Lethal's channel, Soul Assassin. And yeah, folks, also subscribe to Raging Rhino if you haven't already. He's one of the 3 Aussies in the full Aussie, and he just reached 250 subscribers. Let's get him up there, man. Let's get him up to 1,000 if we can. Let's get me up to 1,000 while we're at it. I think I'm at 415. Let me check. Yeah, I think I'm at 415 subs. If you guys can get me 85 more subs, if you guys can get me to 500, I will whip this hat off and show you one of the most embarrassing things of my life. No joke. It is one of the most embarrassing things of my life. Whenever I go out, I wear a hat. Sometimes it's this hat, sometimes it's my other hat, but I don't go out without a hat on. Even if it is freaking like 100 degrees out, I will have a damn hat on. Because it is so embarrassing of what I got going on up there. And yes, thank you for plugging Jade Shadow's channel. Here we go, folks, basically. Yeah, subscribe to Lyndon. Subscribe to Jade Shadow and Lethal Lightning. And I think Soul Assassin's getting Raging Rhino up there, too. These guys are all great YouTubers. Well, gal in the sense of Jade Shadow. She is a woman. Very hot one, too. But she's lethal, so I'm not going to touch that. But, yeah. And also, another thing of why I like these guys, they're humble. They engage with the chat as best as they can, and they stayed humble. Lethal, he's up to 3,000 subscribers. He's way past monetization. He's monetized and whatnot, but he is humble. He hasn't lost his humility. He engages with the chat. He appreciates everything that the chat has done for him and all that. And there's Raging Rhinos. So if you guys could definitely subscribe to him as well. And all of these guys are humble. No matter how high their subscriber counts get, they will not lose that humility, I don't think. And it is a wonderful thing. And the same here, man. No matter how high my subscribers get, anyone in the chat that is civil with me, I will. If you are civil in my as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by a bad internet signal. Yes, all of you guys are freaking amazing and beautiful people. You're humble, and if you stay humble, I'll always respect you. Now, if you do lose that humility, I'll give you a reminder. It's like, guys, you're starting to leave the little guys behind. That's not good. Remember, the thing is, folks, like Ellen DeGeneres is now learning, because she is a cautionary tale like this. She may retain her fortune. She may have all of her money, but her fame is going down the tube because she didn't stay humble. She didn't help those who had helped her for years to get where she is. And so when you're not humble, your foundation crumbles. And hers is crumbling. Now, there are some people that will still help prop you up if you're, or in the YouTube communities, there's some people that will prop you up and whatnot, and you'll basically still have your this or that, but you'll still lose respect from others. Believe me, folks, I'm not going to give names. There's one channel, she shot up so fast, well, obviously I'm giving a gender, but she shot up so fast that she left us little guys in the dust. And she used to be very conversational with us. But ever since she got into with some others and whatnot, she's kind of lost her humility. She only sticks with the higher channels. She's in with the big boys, so she'll stay with the big boys and basically fuck off to the little guys, the ones that helped her get to where she is. So yeah, stay humble, engage with your audience. They are the ones who helped get you where you are. And I will always be thankful to all of my subscribers, all 416 now, currently, because I just got a notification of a 416th subscriber. So to hate-mongering verbal terrorist of the Toxic Brood, thank you for, I love that name. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And like I said, folks, get me to 500 before May 31st, and I will whip this sucker off. And you will see one of the most embarrassing things of my life. Anyway, folks, that is going to be the video. Thank you all for joining me in this live stream. Thank you for watching and putting up with my bad internet and whatnot. You all are truly awesome and amazing and beautiful people. Thank you, Lyndon Howe, for that one. Dude, seriously, you guys do not know how awesome you guys truly are. And I am always going to be thankful to each and every one of you. Even the ones who are just joining my channel, subscribing to my channel. No matter how new or old you are on my channel, I respect you all and I am very thankful for you all. And now, with that said, stay tuned for this upcoming Friday. This is under that Soul Assassin. You seriously, dude, you are freaking awesome. And but yes, stay tuned for next Friday, this Friday coming up, where 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for my Aussie brethren, it's going to be closer to midday for you guys, around 11 o'clock, I think, for you guys, or 11:30, depending on your 30-minute time zones. Hey, I'm not bashing or anything. I think that, believe it or not, I get the 30-minute time zone thing because it's needed, believe it or not. Anyway, folks, yes, stay tuned for that Friday where we got the versus stream of Darth Sidious versus Darth Vitiate, the two emperors of Star Wars going up against each other. This is one that is going to be for the books, folks. And we might have Ryan Kennel, OG Star Wars, back. We might have Lethal and Mara Jade to join that one too. If they can't, hey, that's all understandable. They got busy. But if they can, all the greatest and all the best. Because Lethal actually expressed interest. Hopefully he'll be able to do it. I'll check with him. Tuesday is going to be basically final whether or not you can join or not. If not, I got Ambassador and Annihilus to fill in for them. Ambassador is always going to be on my versus streams unless he is unable to. He is my co-host, basically. And he also knows a lot of his stuff. So, yes, this Friday, tune into that one. It's going to be freaking awesome. 2 weeks after that, we are going to be doing the Children of the Emperor against each other, or Children of Emperors against each other. The Mary Sue from the Disney shit, Rey Palpatine, versus the Emperor Valkorian's daughter, Valen. That will be in June. And I know that I put up a next versus stream thing of Ryan Kennel versus Ryan Kennel. That was actually a joke thing, folks. That's not really going to be a versus stream. I mean, some people actually said to me, it's like, why are you doing that kind of? It's like, that's a joke. Did you notice the people that I tagged? The people that I tagged were in a freaking, we're in Mara's, oh, God damn, why am I blanking? It was in her live stream last night. And this guy, or somebody did a parody account of another Ryan Kinnell. And it was just so freaking hilarious that that it was pissing off Ryan. It's like, fuck you, man. Because Ryan had to do Kinnell Ryan instead of Ryan Kinnell for his Twitter handle. And this guy literally only has one tweet. He joined in 2015, tweeted one tweet in 2018, and he has at Ryan Kinnell for the Twitter handle. And it's just driving Ryan nuts. So while they were doing the stream, I had to duck out for a little bit from the chat, and I just created it, and I put everybody, and I tagged them all too. It is just for laughs and shits and giggles, folks, because I could do memes every now and then. I mean, I can't do the whole Photoshop thing, but I could turn a picture into a meme easy. Anyway, folks, that is going to be all that there is today. Yeah, Ryan versus Ryan. Check it out, or I think you have already seen a Soul Assassin on Twitter, the Ryan versus stream meme. But anyway, folks, that is going to be the video. Thank you again, truly. Raging Rhino, holy shit, man. Thank you for popping in before thank you for popping in, dude. And you are definitely welcome, man. Guys, sub to this guy. Seriously, he does some good stuff. But yeah, have a good night, dude. Yeah, it's got to be wicked early. But yeah, seriously. Sub to Raging Rhino. He does good YouTube work. And get him up to 500. Get him up to 1,000. Get him monetized. He deserves it. But anyway, folks, that is going to wrap it up. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below if you're joining me on the or if you're catching this on the replay. Let me know your thoughts on any of the topics we have covered. And be civil. If you're civil, I'll engage. If not, I'll ignore. It's that simple, folks. I respect those who are civil. And I will give respect back to those who are civil. Anyway, folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.